Hi. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about empaths and what they are experiencing, and two of my favorite tips for empaths. And actually, both of these tips can be used by anybody and are very good tools for everyday life, but particularly for empaths. And for people that aren't quite understanding what an empath is experiencing, when you have those moments driving at night and there's so much oncoming traffic that you just cannot see, it's like everybody's got their high beams on. An empath is experiencing the same thing. The only difference is they're getting waves of emotions thrown at them, and it's very, very difficult for them to be in group scenarios. And they usually tend to want to be just with a few close people. But you can't do that all of your life. And I learned with dealing with my own daughter, who's a very high empath, that we had to find tools for her to use to be able to just be able to function and go to school every day. Especially when she hit puberty, it really seemed to flourish and became like everything was on a loud volume as far as what she was receiving. The emotional basis she was receiving from everybody else was just getting to be unbearable for her. My first tip is building a bubble of light around you. And when you're doing light, when you're wanting to do a protective white light bubble around you, it's one of the best and simplest tools we can use for our everyday. And it's using the crown chakra and your third eye, because your third eye is your gateway, okay? But literally think about it as though you have this huge funnel on the top of your head, okay? You got this great big funnel. And so you're literally pulling the energy down in through the crown chakra, bringing it in. Anything from the universal source, you're bringing that in through the crown chakra. And then you're going to bring it in through the body. Don't do it on the outside yet. You want to bring it in. Bring it in throughout your entire body. And just picture that white light like little tiny raindrops inside your body. That's just light and touching, and it's warm and it's positive and it's protective. And you bring it all the way down. And then once you get it throughout your body, that's when you want to start to also expand it out, okay? You're bringing it out and around you, okay? Like a great big cocoon. And it'll surround you from head to toe. Big old cocoon of light, all right? And whatever your intent needs to be. So for an empath, you're wanting to create a barrier of light that's not going to take away your abilities, okay? We don't want to block your abilities. We want to protect you and be able to start to have it where you can control how much is coming into you, all right? So once you have your bubble of light, it's almost like wrapping yourself in bubble wrap. Or another good metaphor is your favorite blanket. You've just wrapped yourself in your favorite blanket of light. My tip number 2, and I love this because this is for everybody in all situations, is the volume knob. All right, so if you think of it in your third eye, like you have this internal volume knob, and for an empath, you're wanting to control how much of those emotions are hitting you. So, and the more you work with this knob, the easier it gets. So you're slowly wanting to turn that volume down. All right, turning it down to your comfort level, how much you can handle incoming. All right, and then say you're wanting to assist somebody, you can crank it just that little notch to be able to receive what you need to understand from this person. It also works for counselors, therapists, and even in everyday jobs, because we all get bombarded by different people who have different kinds of energy. And so, when you're working in an office and you've got a lot of negative people going on, a lot of negative thoughts going on, and conversations and everything, and you don't want it to affect you. You came into work feeling great that day, but now everybody else's bad vibes are bothering you. Use the knob. Create your volume knob. Alright? And then you can turn down their negative on how much it impacts you. Because we are able to control the incoming and outgoing energy of our own selves. So by turning the volume down on them, you're not going to absorb as much of their negativity or whatever those emotions are that you're getting bombarded with. And then when you're in a really good group of people that you're just like, gosh, I just love basking in their energy around me. These people make me feel so good. Crank that baby up. Turn up the volume. Let it in. Help those positive energies that those people are putting out to come in and give you a boost. Everybody exchanges energy on different levels, but for an empath, it's extremely difficult because they get caught. For instance, I know someone who has a difficult time talking to somebody on the phone because that person is so difficult. They're not happy in their heart. And so this particular empath, it's just like that wave of getting knocked over by the ocean from the other person, even through a phone. And it'll bring them to tears because they just are being bombarded and they can't get out of it. So using that volume knob, using that bubble of light of protection around you will help to buffer. Every little buffer that you can help to create will help you. And then when you don't need it, you can drop it down. When you need it, pump it up. High empaths, you're going to want to really work with that light quite a bit. And little by little, you'll find that you can actually increase the density of that bubble of light without affecting your abilities. Because all you're doing is, it's like yelling through a pillow. All right? Think of it that way. You have this great big pillow, and when you first started, the pillow was flat, and you held it in front of you. Well, now the more you've worked with building your protective light, little by little you can thicken that pillow. You're adding stuffing into it. And so the more you stuff that pillow, the thicker it gets. So when those person's emotions are coming at you, they're not able to get directly through you. You're going to get a muted version coming. Okay, instead, you want to be able to have the ability to tone it down. Make sense? Well, I hope this helps everybody, as this is my little 2 cents on how to help being an empath be able to cope with going out into the everyday world. So, love and light to all of you, and my favorite, namaste. Have a great day, guys.